Hello and welcome to this video. Are you someone who likes to go running? Are you what we would call a runner? Or maybe you're not, but you're thinking about getting into it. Well, this video is going to be about my own unique and I think very creative approach to running that I think is different from what anyone else is doing. I haven't seen anyone doing anything like this on YouTube, for example. And it's really nice introduction to running, and maybe to make running a more dynamic and creative and even healthy activity for you if you are already a runner. So if that's of interest to you, keep watching this video and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hello again, I'm back. It's me, Dan Stott, creator of the Body Empathy Method and the Healthy Pain-Free Body Formula. I am an expert in helping people how to relax deeply and directly, and then taking that experience of deep relaxation into activity, in particular how you breathe and move your body at all times, so that becomes your default state. Imagine. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I run when I run today, which frankly is not a lot. I'm not really a runner or someone who does it like religiously, but I like to do it. And when I do it in a certain way. But first, let me tell you my story a little bit. As a kid, I probably ran more than I walked. I would run everywhere. In fact, even in the wintertime, I would not wear a coat, to the great concern of my mother. And whenever I would go outside, if it was cold, I would just run really hard for a block or two, being a city boy, until my body got hot, and I would just slow down and walk. And then when I got cold again, I would run hard to heat my body up and keep walking. Well, I survived somehow. I managed to deal with the cold that way. Not recommending that you or your children do that. And I was also into, distance running. I would run for long distances, and I have a little psychological technique for doing that, which I'll share with you at some point. However, I also realized later as an adult that running like that as a kid, hard in particular, was actually a way of dealing with emotions, painful feelings that I couldn't really manage any other way. And I think by running hard and getting this release of tension, it was also a secondary emotional release, a freedom from these painful feelings, at least temporarily. So that's yet another benefit that maybe some people experience from running, but not one that I would recommend you use it for necessarily. I was going to say something else, but it slipped my mind. Maybe it'll come back. Anyway, I did a series of videos on walking, the new power walking, in which I talked about variations on walking. And I did it in part to share with people how I approach walking in my Body Empathy Method healthy movement system, which apparently no one else is doing. And I was surprised, even a little pissed off at the lack of innovation and creativity of people. The only thing you could find on variations on walking was the speed at which you walked, with one notable exception, and that was walking backwards, which is now like a new fashion, a new craze in the world of walking, and rightfully so. Anyway, in running, it's basically I'm expanding on what I do when I walk, which is basically to run not only forwards, but backwards, and also sidewards, and even in circular pattern, and finally even like turning or spinning. So all of these variations on running make running more interesting. They make it more creative for me, and they also work the muscles and joints of your feet and legs in a far more complete way. So there's that additional health benefit that you don't get when you just run forwards all the time. So normally I start by running forwards. The other thing is, of course, where you're going to run. Normally when you run, you're running on a trail, a track somewhere, so you just see very easily where you're going. And hopefully it's a long space, a distance. But maybe if you don't have that, like here, I'm going to run in a smaller, demarked area, which I've checked the ground for no sharp objects, no gifts from, no canine gifts, if you know what I mean, and nothing that I would not want to step on. So then, in this case, I might run in a big circle and do my running variations in a circular pattern. But if I was not running in a circle, it would be basically like this, running forwards and running backwards, but not, back and forth necessarily like this, but continuing along a straight line. Backwards, sideways, backwards again, sideways, backwards, etc. And as I said, it would be, I would not be necessarily running back and forth in a small space like I have here, unless this is the space I've created to do the running in. If I were on a trail, running a longer distance, a more open space, then I would be doing the running and the backwards running and the sideward running and the backwards running and more sidewards running, etc., all while going more or less in a straight line. When you do it in a circle like I'm about to do in a moment, that's an even more advanced technique. So this way, I will start with circular running. As I do circular walking, go into an infinity motion, and then go back to a circle with the backwards and forwards and sideways walking, like this. I hope you're not getting dizzy watching me. Now I'm backwards, right? Finally spinning. I'll do it in a straight line. Whoa. So, running like this makes running a lot more fun for me. It's also a lot more beneficial for the lower half of my body. The muscles and joints of my feet and legs work in a far more complete way. So this is how I recommend you consider running. Not necessarily in a small space, in a circle like I just did, but along a trail, wherever you have available for running. And you run straight, forwards, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, the other direction, backwards. I do more backwards and sideways running. I try to continue that for as long as possible, and then occasionally switch to forward running, normal forward running, just for variety and to break the pattern of the sideways and backwards running, which is a little more demanding on the body in terms of coordination and maybe muscle activity too. A couple of more important things I want to share with you about running, healthy running, before I sign off. The first is, when you run in general, according to the experts, and I don't honestly really consider myself an expert professional runner, trainer, this, etc., except for what I'm able to contribute that I've just contributed now. But they talk about the importance of running always on the ball of your feet. So you want to, run on the balls of your feet and not flat-footed. You don't want to run flat-footed, you want to run on the ball. And the more time you spend running on the ball of your foot, the better for the feet, and more benefit you will get from running. So that's something to take into consideration. Last but not least, perhaps most important of all, is this controversial theme, somewhat controversial, of how you breathe, how to breathe when you run. Well, a lot of people teach, well, you breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth. Well, yes and no. There's a better way, in my opinion. You really do not want to breathe except continually through the nose, never out of the mouth. The only exception is if you've run really hard, like sprinted for a short distance, or what, you know, you've gone upstairs or whatever, and your body just forces you to take in more air. Then you open your mouth and breathe through the mouth to recover. But during the running itself, never with the mouth open. Never. In fact, this is how you do it. When you are running for distance, and you feel like you're getting to the point where you have to open your mouth in order to breathe, then what you want to do is slow down, cut back, dial it down, and only continue to the degree that you can breathe through your nose all the time. What happens when you do that is gradually your practice of breathing through the nose, through that practice, you will be able to breathe or to run for longer distances without needing to breathe through the mouth, without getting to that feeling. And that's how you know you're getting stronger and your running is improving. And that's really a sign of optimal health. So, this is what I wanted to share with you. Maybe I'll do a second breathing exercise on video on how to run and the breathing aspect of it a little more, to go into that in a little more detail. But I've really given you the key to it already right now. So maybe it's not necessary. We'll see. If you do have questions and you're watching this on my YouTube channel, comment below. Or if you have a burning question about running or anything health related, stress related, etc., send an email to me. Send it to info.bodyempathy@gmail.com, and I'll do my best to answer it. And if it's a question I think, if my answer to it would be of benefit to others, I might even make a video about it. Meanwhile, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. In this way, every time I upload another really different video with information you're not going to find anywhere else, always about things that are very safe and practical and related to how you can optimize your health by 100% natural means, well, then I will be able to share that with you. Meanwhile, take good care of yourself and take good care of your body too. And happy running. Bye for now.